County stole elderly homeowners' equity, says the U.S. Supreme Court. Meet Geraldine Tyler. This is the story of Geraldine Tyler, a 94-year-old homeowner whose equity was stolen by the county property tax office, but the Supreme Court finally righted the wrong, as of May 2023. In 1999, Geraldine Tyler bought a one-bedroom condo in Minneapolis, Minnesota and lived there until 2010, when she moved to a safer area. She later ran into financial difficulties and owed about $2,300 in unpaid property taxes for the condo. By year 2015, the total tax debt, including interest and penalties, owed to Hennepin County, Minnesota was $15,000. The county government seized the condo and sold it for $40,000. The county then paid the $15,000 owed for the property taxes, and kept the remaining excess proceeds of $25,000. Minnesota law allows county governments to This is criminal. Minnesota law allows county governments to seize property for unpaid taxes, force a sale, and keep any excess funds on top of the property taxes owed. This is the same law in 12 states plus the District of Columbia. Government keeping the previous owner's equity or excess funds following a foreclosure is also permitted, in limited situations, in 9 other states. This is blatantly unconstitutional. The lawsuit. Geraldine Tyler proceeded to sue Hennepin County, arguing that the county stole her equity and violated her rights under the U.S. Constitution and the Minnesota State Constitution, when it kept the excess funds. Her lawsuit complained specifically of violations of the federal and state takings clauses, excessive fines clauses, and substantive due process, in addition to unjust enrichment of the county by keeping the excess funds. The county removed the case to federal court and filed a motion to dismiss for failure to state a claim. The county won at district court level, which agreed to dismiss the case. The former homeowner appealed the decision to the Court of Appeals, and that court affirmed and upheld the decision of the district court. The court ruled on the grounds that because the Minnesota statute allowed the county to keep the entire excess funds, and did not grant the former property owner a right to that surplus, the former property owner did not have a right to the $25,000 in excess funds. Ms. Tyler's attorneys argued that allowing a county government to take more property than necessary to pay a tax debt violates deeply rooted property rights, and conflicts with prior Supreme Court case precedent on takings. In a rare 9-0 unanimous decision, the Supreme Court ruled that Hennepin County's foreclosure of Tyler's home was an unlawful taking and that Minnesota state's forfeiture law is unconstitutional. Chief Justice John Roberts wrote, "The taxpayer must render unto Caesar what is Caesar's, but not more." In the more ethical states, the laws require the clerk of the court to collect the surplus funds, provide notice of the surplus funds to the former owner and to lien holders, asking them to submit their claims within a certain claim period. And if there are any remaining funds after valid liens are paid, there is a conclusive presumption that the former property owner is entitled to the remaining surplus funds. Even in these less greedy states, the county clerks don't always send the required notice of surplus funds, which results in forfeiture of the funds, because the owners don't know of the funds, or aren't aware of their rights to the funds. The net result is the same. The county ends up keeping the surplus funds once the claim period expires. This is a huge national problem that has been going on for several decades in the lower courts. The Supreme Court ought to address this important issue once and for all, rather than on a case-by-case basis, because not everyone can afford to go to the U.S. Supreme Court to seek justice from these greedy, overreaching government entities. Take for instance, the case of Uri Raffaelli, a Michigan foreclosure that was unfair and unconscionable, and no doubt done in bad faith, in an effort to steal the homeowner's equity. Oakland County, Michigan, seized Raffaelli's property, auctioned it off to settle the $8.41 debt, and kept about $24,500 in excess funds from the sale. Foreclosure over $8? Pure insanity. Michigan had a law that allowed a penalty of more than 8,000 times the underlying property tax debt. Surely, this can't be legal in the United States. Right? Michigan changed its laws after the Michigan Supreme Court ruled that Raffaelli, an 83-year-old man, should not have lost the entire value of his property over $8.41 in unpaid taxes. Let's look at Massachusetts. The state similarly allows taxing agencies to pocket excess funds resulting from tax foreclosures. An estimated $56 million is stolen from Massachusetts taxpayers every year. These foreclosures and theft of the surplus funds disproportionately affect the most vulnerable members of society who are unable to defend their property rights. I'm talking about the elderly, the disabled, people with mental health issues, and people with low income. Several attorneys in Minnesota are now seeking to file a class action lawsuit on behalf of homeowners whose properties were unfairly seized or surplus funds unfairly kept by the county. One of those hopeful plaintiffs is Sporlitter, who is hoping to be able to file her own lawsuit or join a class action lawsuit. She lived in her home for 25 years and later owed Hennepin County $20,603 in back taxes and fines. After failed attempts to get a payment plan to pay off the taxes, she was forced to leave the house. Her property was valued at about $260,000, which means the county gets to steal about $240,000 in equity that she has in the property. A Minnesota state lawmaker has already introduced a bill that would change the state's forfeiture law, which is a great first step. Change is needed. In light of the Supreme Court's recent decision in the Geraldine Tyler case, Minnesota's forfeiture law must be changed. The same must occur in all the other states that currently allow these greedy counties to steal homeowners' equity. What can you do? How can you help? You can educate your friends, families, neighbors, and loved ones about this issue and about their property rights. You can protest in writing to your local government through your council members, mayors, governors, senators' offices, etc. Also, like this video, so that the algorithms will show it to many other people as well. If you want to see more videos from us, remember to subscribe to our channel. Thank you. Want to learn more? Interested in learning more about this topic? Check out our other videos, or find a local real estate or foreclosure attorney in your area to ask questions. We believe information is key in winning against any injustice such as this one. Thanks again for watching. Remember to always learn your rights and assert those rights. You could also do your own research to see how your county and state are handling excess funds from foreclosure sales, and to find out whether they are engaging in or permitting frivolous foreclosures to take place. Have a story or comment? Please drop those below. We would love to hear them.